Welcome to Sydney Motorsport Park. My name is John Boston and today we're going to take you around the World Time Attack GP circuit and talk about every single corner. To show you what it's like driving these corners at actual race speed, today we're going to use a Time Attack car.
Actually, we don't have a Time Attack car ready.
What do you mean?
We got to drive one of these.
You want me to drive that?
Yeah, around the track.
A golf cart?
Yeah.
I can't drive that. So here we are on the approach to turn 1 at Sydney Motorsport Park. A lot of people don't realise how fast this corner is. It is one of the fastest corners on the Australian scene. You need to be mindful, it's quite a late turn in here, and the apex actually is quite late. So the apex here is actually right towards the very end of the ripple strip down here at turn 1. A lot of people might turn in early, and if you have a lift off here, it can turn really bad, because if you spin here, honestly, close your eyes. Approaching turn 2, it's very tricky. It's a combination of one of the highest approach speeds combined with one of the most confusing corners in Australia. You need to start turning into the corner relatively early. It's nearly like a double apex. You've got to let the car run quite wide in that mid-corner section, so you're generally making a bit of a V to the corner. Here we've got a lot of time to think about it, so you know, we could do a bit of a lean going into the corner. Here you'd normally down change to about 3rd gear. And because the corner tightens up so much, you want to pretty much hit the last part of the ripple strip and even use a little bit of the dirt and grass like we're using with our World Time Attack golf cart at the moment. So once we've got our little apex here at turn 2 on the exit of the corner, we need to understand that the exit of turn 2 essentially turns into the entry of turn 3. Generally here you're wanting to short shift a little bit just to try and put a little bit of power down. Turn 3 here, same again, it's quite a late apex. A lot of people don't understand that, you know, a lot of people are wanting to turn in so early and they think they're on the throttle, but the apex here is actually same again towards the end of the ripple strip. The big key here for a driver is to try and keep your eyes and brain ahead of the motor vehicle. Understand the basics, the further you're looking ahead, the sooner you see it, the sooner you process it, the sooner you're going to do something about it. If you're not looking far enough ahead, it's going to feel extremely rushed for you, especially in these World Time Attack cars that are very fast. So this is where you can obviously get some decent speed. Maybe not like we're doing in our World Time Attack golf cart. Over the crest here, over the years I've seen some fantastic photos from photographers down here. Your terminal speed is extremely high. You know, for some of the cars that I've driven, 4th and 5th gear on the approach to turn 4. You need to be mindful when you get out nice and wide, do not drop it off on the outside edge. It's the loaded side of the car. And if you do that, it's going to turn very bad for you, obviously on the entry. So understand that the line does vary a little bit here depending on the amount of grip that you've got with your car, but generally it's a later apex again because you're trying to actually make a straight line between turn 4 and 5. If you're not able to get onto the gas quite hard between these two corners, you have a bit of a line issue here. So you want to be right beside the ripple strip. Some people actually use it. I'm very conscious of using it because if you hit that hard, you can actually bounce your car over too far. This is probably one of the most dangerous parts of Sydney Motorsport Park. You have a look at all the marks here and all the marks on the wall. This is where a lot of cars get hurt. You need to get back over to the right-hand side here. Don't touch the ripple strip on the loaded side. Be careful here going into 5. It is a fast corner. If you don't use the brakes, understand you're probably not going fast enough. Understand the more brake you use, the more throttle you can potentially use. So you should be having a bit of a light brake here. I generally left foot brake through here, so then my right foot is ready to get back on the gas, and sometimes in turbocharged cars, it's a very good way just to spool the turbo or the turbos up, because this is now the new South Circuit here at Sydney Motorsport Park. So this is actually pit exit. And if you've seen some in-car videos, a number of us generally use the concrete or the bitumen out here on the exit of 5. And it's a very good way to get on the throttle just that little bit earlier, but you need to be mindful as you step off on the outside on the loaded side. Be careful how low your cars are, what your splitters are like, and what your shocks are like, because that can throw the car offline and maybe out of balance a little bit as well. Turn 6. This has changed a little bit over the years, because this was the old 6 and 7 where you used to have a right and left. There's no right-hander coming up here now. It is just flat over the crest and then getting back on the brakes for a left-hander into the new turn 6. So understand this corner is a little bit tight. Most of the cars will be in 5th gear or some in 4th gear depending on your gearbox. So when you get your apex, don't be afraid. There's 2 parts of the ripple strip here. You can get the unloaded side on that little, I suppose, shark's tooth part. You don't want to get it up very high. You got to be careful though. Try not to run on the grass or the dirt, which I've previously done on the run up to the new 7 as we go under the Sydney Motorsport Park bridge. So many people turning too early for this corner. If you're turning early on throttle, you're going to find that you're going to have to lift off the gas at a point where you're mid-corner, and that's where the car will actually probably start sliding. It's a very late apex here, so you can get a nice run down into the turn 8, the hairpin, which is the hard right-hander, and this is where you need to be able to get the car all the way back over to the left-hand side. The outside of this corner has changed a lot over the years. This used to just be grass and dirt. Because of the new standards, they've actually got a lot of bitumen on the outside there now. So if you do run out of braking capacity or maybe talent, don't be afraid. There's a lot of room to use out there. So saying that, this line has changed a little bit as well over the years. It used to be a very, very late apex, but the apex is now probably a little bit earlier. And the reason you can turn in just a fraction earlier, you've actually got more road space to use on the outside of turn 8. This is where you're really going to get up to some serious speed. So generally I'm in like 4th or 5th gear, depending on, same again, the amount of gears that I've actually got. So, you know, you can nearly tuck the head. Put on your Baker, BMX bike. So we're coming up to the new turn 9, which is the old turn 10. So this would be flat, 4th or 5th gear. And like I was saying, you just need to be very careful that you don't turn in too early. So many people have already started turning in, and this is so important to get it right, because this is where you can gain a lot of time or lose a lot of time. If you turn in early, you're not going to be able to use the gas between 9 and 10. So coming through here, you need to be mindful that your revs aren't too high either, because even that can unsettle the car, and your car's going to pitch a little bit too much by either coming off the gas or when you get back on the brake. You want the car to be settled. I bet apex late enough here towards, I suppose, the last third of the ripple strip, so I can actually get back on the accelerator pedal between 9 and 10. You need to be careful if you're turning early here. Understand the exit of this corner turns into the entry of turn 10. Coming up to 10, there's three parts of this ripple strip. There's the shark's tooth part, then there's the smooth part, then there's a little hump in the middle. And if you watch the in-car to Warren Luff when he did his 25 in Nemo last year, looked like he nearly made another part of the track. And it's a very smart move, and if the car's right and you can drive it right, you can certainly take advantage of it. Whereas so many people have turned in early, they're out wide, they're not able to get on the gas, and you know, they're trying to stay off the rocks and trying to stop themselves from having a picnic out in the grass out there. So many people turn in early here, and understand your exit speed coming onto the main straight is going to determine your straight line speed. And I've watched so many in-car vids of people where they're on the throttle, but they're just not able to actually, you know, apply throttle percentage. You know, understand when you're getting back on the gas, you know, you want to try and get onto the throttle as early as possible, and that's why it's so important to try and make the exit of the corner as straight as you possibly can. This is generally a third gear corner on the exit of turn 11. Understand you should really only be applying throttle as you're getting rid of steering, hence why we're trying to make the exit of the corner as straight as we possibly can, because here you're going to see some extremely high speeds down the main straight here of Sydney Motorsport Park. So here we have the main straight of Sydney Motorsport Park. This is where all the excitement happens. Coming onto the straight, you can see the thousands of spectators. Like, I take it in, I love it. And you know you're about to go past all these people which are lined either side of the track, including obviously your pit crew waiting down in the pit. So this is either the start of your lap or this is the finish of the lap. So coming down here, you're approaching speeds for some cars over 300 kilometres an hour. You don't realise how fast that is. These cars are ballistically fast. Think back a couple of years ago when you saw the Cyber Evo lost its rear wing going down here just because of the downforce that was producing, obviously because of the speed. I think we're going to have to put on the helmet. So there you have it, a full lap of Sydney Motorsport Park, 3.95 kilometres and 11 corners. This is the track that is going to be used for the Advan World Time Attack 2013. Certainly wasn't a 25-1 which Luffy did in Nemo last year, but I can tell you what, the mighty golf cart, she did all right. What do you think?
Ready for you.
My car's ready. I've been passed by the crew in the VE Commodore, Baker on his BMX bike, and that size 6 with the double D's going down the main straight, and now she's just handed me the keys to an Evo with pink calipers and pink wheel nuts.